felt the turning point was when he didn't take those break points in the second set. Did you feel as well that was maybe when the momentum shifted?
Well, yeah, I mean, I obviously broke the next game, but in the first set, the same thing happened with me, where I had, I think, 7 or 8 break points and didn't get them, and he had break points in one of the games and got one of them, and he gained a bit of confidence after that. But yeah, I mean, on indoor matches, when it's both of us, I thought serve pretty well. We weren't losing too many points on our first serve. It can hinge on a couple of points here or there, and that definitely gave me the advantage in the second set. But the third set was tight as well.
What was it like being back on court in front of London fans today, Andy? And what's your overall thoughts on the group pairing as well?
Yeah, it was a good atmosphere. It's, I think, well, for me anyway, it's important. The last week of the year, when everyone's a little bit tired, to have that, atmosphere and big crowd, to give you that extra little push that you need to play good tennis. So it was good to be back playing in the UK. And yeah, I think the groups are tough. Everyone who's here can play great tennis on any day, and you're going to have to play well to beat everybody.
Andy, first match on UK soil since becoming a Grand Slam champion. Did that mean anything to you? Was there anything different about it?
I don't know. You try and. You just try and. I wasn't thinking about that when I went out to play the match. But the noise and the atmosphere at the beginning of the match was great, and like I say, at this stage of the year, that does help to give you a little boost. Rather than coming out, playing flat. I thought I started the match well, and just didn't quite take my chances early on. But I didn't feel that much different to how I felt, the last few months.
Andy, when you finally got your break in the second set, you had just wasted 3 more break points, and then you whacked the ball and it hit the Corona sign on the net. What was going through your mind after missing all those break points, and then you couldn't even hit the ball to the ball boy over the net?
Well, a lot of the break points I didn't waste. I think if you went and watched them, he served very well on a lot of the break points, especially in the first set. He started to miss a few more first serves in the second and third sets when I had my chances, and that helped me sort of get into the point and find a way of being aggressive or using some variety, whereas some of the time in the first set he just completely overpowered me. But if I want to, and I'm holding a ball in my hand, I can feed the ball over the net if I want to. So I wasn't concerned with that at all.
Andy, you mentioned on court, the situation a couple of years ago when you were tied and didn't qualify because there's tiebreakers, and that situation can often arise in this kind of event. So is that something that in your mind that, winning in straight sets, or, winning, more games, or, once in a while, losing an occasional game is no big deal in the course of a match, but here it can actually mean something. So is that something you have to keep in your mind when you're playing?
I think I've been quite lucky in some respects that I haven't really played many matches here where, it's necessarily when I was on the court, I didn't feel like I was playing 4 games or for a set or whatever. Like when I played Ferrer a couple of years ago here, I knew that if I won a set against him, he was out of the tournament. I've never really been in that position here, so I haven't thought about it. But I'm sure when you are, it can be hard if you go into a match knowing you need to win 6 or 7 games. It must be tough not to think about that.
And you seemed in the last game, you seemed very fired up to win that. Were you aware, were you thinking at all about having not closed out a couple of matches recently?
I was thinking that the reasons why that had happened, and the match against Djokovic in Shanghai, again, I didn't really feel like I did loads wrong in that match. The one last week I said I was disappointed with. I rushed and didn't concentrate and focus as hard as I needed to, and that was why I got broken. So today I just focused on every point. I got myself pumped up. I took my time and served it out well.
Do you feel any different in yourself or in your game, having won the Grand Slam? Do you feel it has an impact sort of on a day-to-day basis, maybe even in the tight moments particularly?
I mean, it's hard to say because I've lost a few very tough matches since, very close matches since then. But I hope when I'm playing the best players in the world that maybe believe in my shots a bit more, make sure I be aggressive when I can. I thought I did a good job of that today. I tried to move forward and take his time away a little bit, which sometimes when I played him in the past, I'd let him dictate a lot of the points. So I didn't feel like I did that today. And they're the things that I think rather than it necessarily being just confidence, also just learning, having won a few of the the big events this year, and having lost a tough one in Australia against Novak and at Wimbledon against Roger, I think I've learned a lot this year of how I need to play those big points, in big games, and I think it's that rather than confidence.
Andy, Janko Tipsarevic told us before he thinks that's the nicest tournament of the whole year. Can you talk a little bit about the little special things that make this tournament special for the players?
Well, I think the reason why it's special to a lot of the players, and not everybody can qualify for it. I'm sure a lot of the players would want to play here, but there's only eight spots, and it's a whole year's work getting here. So already that makes it, a nice feeling to be able to come here. But well, I mean, you've been around it. It's a beautiful stadium to play in. It's a different atmosphere to most of the tournaments we're at. We take the boat to the courts, which we don't do anywhere else. We have our own locker rooms, and it's a nice tournament. They put on a great event, and they also put on a really nice event in Shanghai too. So I've enjoyed it every year. I've got the chance to play, and I'm sure Janko will love playing here this year again.
Andy, at the back here, you're in Novak's group. You've obviously had some incredible matches against him this year. Given the amount you put each other through every time you play each other, or have done over the past 12 months, do you have to prepare yourself mentally any differently to just get ready for the pain you're going to put each other through physically?
I think there's for me anyway, there's an understanding of how much you have to put into the match to win it. And I think that's just the nature of those matches. Both of us are very good retrievers, so often the points will go on a lot, or sometimes you maybe feel like you need to win the point 2 or 3 times, which is tough and can be a little bit tiring. But I mean, we've played each other enough to know what to expect. We do practice with each other quite a lot too, but it's never quite the same as the matches, that's for sure.
I was just going to ask you, Andy, about the indoor surface, how you feel it compares playing in this event to other tournaments around the world.
The indoor surface?
Yeah.
Well, it felt like a pretty fair court to me. When we've been practicing the last few days, when there's no one in there, and it was very cold in the arena and felt very slow. But today when we were playing, both of us won a lot of points off our first serve, got a lot of free points, and but can also defend as well. It's not that quick where you can't reach balls, and I think it's a pretty fair court. It's not bouncing really high or really low, but it takes slice well, it takes spin well, and I like it for an indoor court. It's not often you get that. It's normally quite tough to play on some of the surfaces, but here's pretty good.